Hey guys, happy Friday! Welcome to yet another speed build. Special speed builds coming up for the next week. So, wow, I've got a bit too much energy today. But yes, this is the first speed build that I'm going to share with you for the new expansion pack that's coming out called Cottage Living. In this voiceover, I am going to give you my full thoughts, my debriefing on everything I've experienced because I have built quite a lot with it. 7 lots to be exact, so I think I know the ins and outs of it by now, so I can give you my full, frank and honest opinion. The last video I kind of couldn't do that because I was just doing like an overview of my builds, so I couldn't really, it wasn't a chatty moment, you know. I had to kind of stay on track, and I apologize, it was a long one. I didn't realize it was going to be that long, otherwise I think I would have broken it up into a couple of videos. But also I'm kind of glad that I didn't do a speed build because I think I know you quite enjoy my speed builds, but I feel like 7 speed builds for Cottage Living before it's even released is just too many. Like I feel like if I did that, you'd just be burnt out on content, and by the time of release or the time I get true early access where I can install it on my computer, you'd be just bored of it and you wouldn't want to see what the hell I've done. So yeah, I am very happy because I didn't realise I was going to build so many. So everything always works out for the best. But anyway, yes, so Cottage Living. It is British AF. It is inspired by the Cotswolds in the UK here, and I did have the pleasure of visiting the Cotswolds last year just before the whole COVID second wave hit us here in the UK. So I got my little break in then. I did a staycation. And the Cotswolds is just gorgeous. House prices there are way higher than normal for like countryside, if you get what I mean. Normally countryside is cheaper, but house prices are pretty expensive there. It's like the designer place to go. Let's just say like the Beckhams have a Cotswolds pad, you know, it's like the place where you have your second home. You work in London and you've got your swanky second home in the Cotswolds. Very stylish, everything's well put together, it's just, the place is gorgeous. So yeah, that's what the Cotswolds is known for, is just being stunning, and it is. When I went there, I did visit what is meant to be the prettiest village in the whole of the UK, which is called Castle Combe. Some people pronounce it Castle Combe, it's not, it's pronounced Castle Combe, by the way. It's spelt Combe but pronounced Combe. Who knows why, but I took lots of pictures when I visited, and I knew it was going to be good because, I'm not going to lie, there was lots of Asian tourists, and when there's Asian tourists, you know it's a good site. That's always a good like barometer of if it's a good tourist place, is if they're there. So there was lots of Asian tourists. There was a coach park. Like, you go to this village and on the top of the hill they've set up a coach park for visitors. That's how many people they have coming in, so you know it's good. So you go down there, we parked the car, double parked everything, it was full. This is COVID times and still the car park is not enough for people. And walked down the hill, and I booked lunch in the local pub that is there so we could look out and just have a nice like few hours there. Walked up and down, there's like this bridge that everyone takes a picture on. It's a stunning place, it really is amazing. And there is this huge hotel there, it's like a manor house, and it's stunning. And you're not meant to go on the grounds, but we kind of found a little side entrance and we snuck in because only hotel guests were meant to be there during COVID, but we were outside, it's fine. So we snuck on, I took some pictures, and fun fact is that one of the future builds that you're going to see, I think I'm going to call it Bunny Cottage. I think in real life it's called April Cottage. But I saw it on Instagram and it said it was in Castle Combe, and I was like, oh my god, amazing. And then I looked on my phone at the pictures I took when we were there, and I'd taken that exact same picture of that exact same cottage at the same angle as I saw on Instagram, and I was like, it's meant to be, I'm doing it. So that's like a little thatched cottage that ends up being in this town as well. So yeah, but back to the actual pack. The pack, I think, is, if you don't want to go any further and you just want a short summary, the pack is very well rounded out for pieces to build in this particular style. If you want to build the whole world in this style, you are set, good to go. This plus base game is just chef kiss, perfect combinations, and you're good. Like, building something like this, I don't have any problems. The only thing is, if I want to build some different style for some reason, like for example, if I want to build a modern build, I think I'm going to rely on other packs other than base game and this to do it. So I have done a modern build, believe it or not, and like you'll see from the items that I use, basically it's a base game build with the stone and maybe the vegetable patches from the new pack. So it's very much base game heavy. So of course you're limited in that sense, but it's not meant to be that versatile. It's not meant to be for modern builds too. It's meant to be to capture the essence that is this world. And I think it does it perfectly. I just think it nails it. I have no problems with the windows that they decided to give us. I think they fit the brief perfectly, the whole cottage brief. Personally, I need some different windows to do larger builds. I think the lots that are the 50 by 40, I don't necessarily see myself doing a build that would take such small windows. So these are very much cottage windows. They are not like manor house windows to me. So that's where, of course, custom content is going to just slide right into your DMs and handle business for you. So yeah, expect some custom content builds once I get this installed. Once I get the early access just before release, there will be a custom content build. I am particularly busy this month, so there is going to be one build. I'm limiting myself as much as I want to do more. Can't. There's going to be one build with custom content coming out. So console players, I think I have you handled. Like, you have 7 builds and there's only 12 lots in this entire world. So I think I've got you covered. But yeah, I'll be doing a custom content build then. And then again at the beginning of the next month when I get time, when I've finished the next month's CC content, because that is still happening. But yeah, I think they have done such a great job, and I love the little touches. Of course, I got behind the scenes stuff and like things like the wisteria being liberated and being able to place that, and the ivy. I'm very happy that they added that into the catalogue. Just a quick point as I'm flying around here and there's lots of debug things coming out. The show live edit, the world objects and debug for this pack, I have to say, are just delicious. I'm going to be using that little mini there and that Land Rover cruiser. I'm going to be using that for every build. Like, it doesn't even make sense. You can't even get a car up here, but I'm putting them there because I think they make the build, and I shall continue to use them even if they make no logical sense, because this is The Sims and I don't need to make logical sense. So yeah, also I put a phone booth actually round my way. There is literally a random phone booth just in someone's front garden, but they would normally put them at the edge, so sometimes you do find them in unusual places. Lots of them have been removed now, unfortunately, but yeah, they're just iconic for the whole entire country, and I shall put them in where I please. So I put one in there like it was just a little public bit on the corner. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit all over the place. I don't really know what points to cover. If you have any questions, by the way, of anything that I don't cover, I am not going to cover gameplay. I'm going to be honest with you, I had early access to this before, when of course there was a lot more bugs and there wasn't even all of the gameplay added yet. And I didn't do any gameplay apart from buy some chickens and plant some vegetables. Apart from that, I didn't do any gameplay because I just was so focused on doing my builds and also regular life was continuing and I had deadlines to meet. And then when I got this early alpha access, which we had it for about 10 days, I still had my CC set to finish, so I got that finished, and then I had 4 days left to do all my builds and everything, which I have to say I'm really happy with how these builds turned out. And I feel like this style is very easy for me to do, and I think it's a testament to the items that come in the set of how easy I found it to build. I know with only base game and the new pack, it kind of cuts down the choices you have to make, so maybe it's a little bit quicker to build. But I have done limited pack builds before, like for example Snowy Escape, and I still kind of find it difficult sometimes to do that. Like there's a few times I've had to just do base game plus an expansion pack, and I think this is the easiest time I've had of doing it. Just point out I'm using the pond tool at the current moment. This is the first pond I've ever done, and it was hard. I barely used terrain tools, and it took a little bit of finessing, let's put it that way. So hopefully after a couple of pond attempts I will get better at it. I promise. This isn't the greatest pond you've ever seen in your life, but it will do. It will do for now. I do a much larger one that you'll see like on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that build, and I did improve. I hope you'll agree with me. But yeah, I think they really did a great job. Of course, there's always little extra things you want, like, oh, I wish there was like a 4-seater table, like a square table. But then you think, oh, base game has a farm style table there already, so it's kind of like you're kind of just doing it for the sake of doing it rather than there being a need. It's, of course, we always want more content, but I think I'd rather they prioritize getting new stuff in there than just kind of doing a EP version of something we already have in base game. So yeah, I agree with the stuff they made. Oh, also a note as I'm putting it here, these plants are all from debug, and I just would like to say my one thing that I think is criminal is that they hid the roses in debug. Those rose bushes are delightfully delicious, and they should have center stage. There was one thing I was so looking forward to, was rose bushes being added in, because for me, of England, I think roses. And when I did my build, I was like, oh, we don't have any more plants, because I didn't even check debug or anything like that when I was building, because I didn't want to upset myself, because I wasn't going to be able to use it. So I didn't check. And so for the first time I looked at debug when I got access this time, and I was literally jumping around, slightly excited by the fact that there's so many plants and trees and new things in there. As I said, A+++ on the debug items. There's so many world objects that are perfect. I tried to use many of them in this and didn't manage to fit them in, but they are amazing. So yeah, I'm so happy that I got to be a part of the process in building this world and contributing even little things like, fun fact, the animal pen that you see, it has the big barn, like things like giving feedback on, they had, I think if you look at Devon Bumpkin's video where he showcases his builds, I watched that yesterday. He has the animal pen in the big 64x64 lot, and you'll notice that there is grass going all the way around the full footprint. And they were like, hey, what do you think? Do you think that the grass should go like all the way around there? Or do you think the grass looks good like this? And I was like, no, like as a builder, having the grass around that makes it really obvious how big your animal pen and the footprint is. So I was saying like it would look better if you just had the grass going around the outside of the animal shelter, so that you could put multiple animal shelters and you couldn't tell how big the footprint of the item really was. So like little things like that, and having the rug, saying like the rug was too big for us to use, and of course we couldn't size down, so they made the rug smaller for us. I know that Thomas was vocal about having extra swatches in the kitchen, and they added in extra swatches for us for that. And it's like, I think they really wanted to try and use us to give feedback and to make it the best pack that it could possibly be. And I just have a great appreciation for the job that the guys on the team and all the devs do, because I really do think they're trying to do their best. Even if you don't agree that they nail it every time, I really do think that they're trying to do the best. And it was very much evident when you get to work with them. So yes, I just want to say, I think I'm going to tell them job well done. I think they did a super great job and nailed my country very, very well. Yeah, that's it. So I would recommend the pack, in case you didn't get that from this whole entire ramblings. But yeah, fun fact as well is the little critters on the roof. You'll see them with the wood. The little wooden beam is still in the roof decoration section, but give you the inside scoop. Originally, they were all on a wooden beam, those critters, like they are there up on the roof. Those are actually from debug, or, well, objects things. They were all originally on there, and they were meant to snap to the top of the thatched part. There was, you know, the extra thatched decoration that goes along the apex of the roof. They were meant to snap to the top of that, and I think they might have had a problem getting them to snap correctly in place all the time. So what they did was made it a thatched item and added the critters on top of the thatch, and you could just place it in. But they've left the beam there, so the beam, maybe sometimes people look at it like, well, this doesn't make sense, why is there a beam? But it was meant to be a beam to fill out the critters. So now, you know, it makes a bit more logical sense, but they've still left the critters in debug, the original ones on the wooden beam bit. So you and your 9 key will get very acquainted, and you can just plop them up there on the roof, which is what I did, along with the official still in the catalogue item of the beam to finish off the trim. So not only do your thatched roofs get the critters, but also your regular tiled roofs can get the critters as well. So yeah, I'm happy that they left those in, because I would like to have critters not only on thatched roofs but also on regular ones, even though it makes no sense, because we can take artistic license and liberties. Do you know how many times I messed with the windows at the back here? They don't even change. They don't even stay that way. They change again once I do the interior. So yeah, but I'm so happy that I got to alt place and use Moo all over, up and down, all over this build. I have used it plenty. All of these builds, I have saved my save file, so I will try and get these builds up. They do have a warning, like it's not guaranteed that your old save will work on the new, like, shipped version or anything like that. But I did test my old saves that I had been using, like, on a very early build, and they still worked on this version. So fingers crossed that they still work on the ship version. So that's the only way you can do it. They disable the gallery. If you can see it, the gallery button there is greyed out. They disable it on these builds so that you can't place anything and you can't get to the gallery and connect, and you know, you don't need the gallery for this. So you have to take the save file and then put that into your game once you've got it installed, and then save out the lots to the gallery that way. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if it doesn't work for me, it's not going to work for anyone else. So fingers crossed you can get your hands on this build. I'm sure it will. I've had to do that several times. I did it for Snowy Escape. I did it for Sulani. What's that called? Island Living? Yep. So it's worked those times. I don't see why it wouldn't work again. But yeah, I had a really good time doing the furnishing for this. As I said, I did these really quickly and I was quite surprised. I don't know why I was so surprised, because I know I found it really easy to build when we were doing the official lots for the game. So why wouldn't it be easy now? I thought maybe I might get inside my own head and I would find it difficult, but I didn't. So yeah, I was just trying to make sure that excuse me, I'm just gonna take a sip of my tea. So British. I got a tea here. I just got a dry throat. Tea solves everything, by the way. It's like, got a life problem, make a cup of tea. Problem solved. Done. That is the British way. Just make a cup of tea. Life is all okay once you have a cup of tea in your hand. So yeah, the whole point of the builds at the moment is for me to try and diversify and make everyone look different to the other. So that's what I was trying with these. So different but similar. So this one, I've used that roof trick again, the half wall roof trick. I was meant to talk about it when I was doing it, but I forgot. Sorry, I was babbling. I've used the whole half wall trick with the lower roof line coming down on this build as well. So it links into the build that I did for the pub owners lot. And I've also used that trick on the thatch roof as well. So it's like they're completely different builds, but they have that linking them together. So they go together. So if you're looking for builds for the town, I've got you covered. I have actually I've redone all 3 of them. So I have my official one in the middle, and then either side of them, I've also done houses for those lots. So if you want to make Harrieville instead of Finchwick, you can. If you want to. I'm not saying you have to. But yeah, so it's a series of 3 of them. They'll all go together, and cohesion. We all will love a bit of cohesiveness, don't we? But yeah, just please ask me some questions of what you would like me to answer about the pack, because I feel like I haven't really answered anything and I've still been rambling. But I don't make any plans for these voiceovers. I just whatever happens. And a lot of times after I finish them, I'm like, oh, I should have said that. But yeah, I've got time because I still have to do voiceovers. So please ask away. But yeah, I am just so glad I managed to get all these builds done. They're really, really cute. So on direction with this one, it's kind of like the stereotypical Cotswolds cottage, stone, but always stone cottages really. And of course it goes with the one next door, which is very similar. And then I wanted to do the thatched version as well to go in, because lots of the decorative shells around are thatched cottages made out of brick as well. So this lot here is the lot, originally it has a starter home that was built by Thomas TV on here. So sorry I bulldozed it, but the lot was beautiful, so I stole it. So I've built on there. And then I also had to bulldoze Claire's thatched cottage. Now I'm gonna make a special note on that one. I really didn't want to bulldoze that lot. Because I'm going to say a special shout out, if you want to tell Claire that I say this. I think her lots were just, I watched her video where she revealed that she built two of the lots in the world. And she said that she didn't take any of the lots that she wanted. She just said she was happy to take whatever lots were free, and that's the way that she put her bid in, because we all got to pick which lots we wanted, and she wanted to leave it up to the people that were normally builders. And I thought that was so cute. That was such a sweet touch. And then after getting her lots, she put in so much effort into making them the best that they could be. And when I went into that thatch cottage lot that is in this town, I literally just smiled. It is so cute. It has like pink and teal mixed together, and it was just so girly and cute. And yeah, I felt really, it just made bulldozing it really difficult. But it was the last lot that I built, so I really did try not to bulldoze it. And with all my might, but it was the perfect size lot for the house I had planned last. So yeah, I had to do it. But you guys, you definitely don't need to replace that one. I think she did such a great job, and also the whole story behind the other lot that she did was really cool as well. I just want to say a special shout out for someone that doesn't say or class themselves as a builder per se. I think she did such a great job, so kudos to you and everyone else basically. But you know, we're kind of known as builders, but I think everyone did such a great job, and I think we were all just like, how the hell did we get invited to this to build in the new world? It's such a like once in a lifetime kind of thing that you don't expect to happen, and it's not really something that you aim for in life. But when it comes along, it's just like, wow. Yeah, I wasn't quite doing the whole emotional tears thing that I was doing when I saw my stool in the game for the first time. That one took me, like, literally knocked me sideways. But yeah, it's just so cool to see it, and I'm just kind of being a bit of a weirdo, looking and trying to see what everyone else says about the builds, but no one's really done any reviews of the world. Maybe it's like a no-go area when Game Changers do the world. They don't do reviews of the lots. They don't want to say anything bad. I think for a while people didn't know who built what lot. So I have seen a couple of reviews of the world, and people at that point had recorded it and they didn't know who built which lot. So they were kind of informed at a later date who built what. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing all of the content, all of the builds that you guys are going to make, and also all of the little things I have planned to get done over the next month that may slightly enhance your game experience. That's all I'm going to say. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So yeah, I'm just doing final touches in this house. Maybe I should talk about this house. In this house, there are 3 bedrooms. Yes, we pick a tiny lot and we managed to shoehorn 3 bedrooms in. I must say though, one thing about these builds, they're so tiny that you get awful screenshots. So prepare your bodies for some awful screenshots, and also no reshade. I didn't attempt to install reshade on this early build, but maybe next time I will attempt to do it, because without reshade I'm like, oh. There is a slight green, oh, that's another thing. There is a slight green tint in the summertime to this world. It's like a slight green tint. You can thank us that it was not a stronger green tint, because we were like, what is this green tint you have in the world? It was like Oasis Springs strong green, like, you know, the strong tint in Oasis Springs where you put white and it's like orange. There was that. It was just everything was green at like midday in the world. Everything was just full on green, especially in the forest world. It was like green AF. It was like you were in a bog, and we're like, yeah, as a builder, we just like that a little bit less, just a little bit less. So I think they have the right amount of green in their summertime. I don't know what colour it ends up being in the other seasons, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what these look like in different seasons. And of course the pond tool as well. In winter it does freeze, and then you have the whole like frozen top of the pond, and it looks really cute. I don't know if you can ice skate on that. Maybe you can. I don't know. I think you can. But yeah, we're putting like the final touches in here. I managed at the final bit to shoehorn another bedroom in here. So as we said, 3 bedrooms. We have the master bedroom, like a double twin, and then this is kind of like the spare hobby room. So we've got painting in there, and we've got another bedroom. So I'm not sure who would I think this is like an older couple, and it's kind of just these bedrooms are spare bedrooms. It's really only the master bedroom that gets used. So definitely no kids. I'm not imagining kids in here, but you could do. You like just put a few toys in, you're good. Also, but the pond may be a little unsafe for children. I used to have a pond growing up in my house, and my parents removed the pond because I was too young to have a pond and they thought it was a bit dangerous. So yeah, maybe you might want to rethink the pond with kids. But anyway, screenshots. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back on Sunday with a slightly different build, bit of a modern one. I shall see you then. Bye guys!